In my last life, everyone called me a fatso. No matter how much I dieted, exercised, or took diet pills, the number on the scale only ever increased. Meanwhile, my twin sister, a mukbang streamer with tens of millions of followers, ate excessively every day yet always maintained a perfect 98-pound figure. My mother called me a dead pig, and my grandmother cursed me, asking why I didn't just die. Even my sister found joy in mocking my body. In my grief, I chose to starve myself to death. Only after I died did I realize, my sister had bound a fat transfer system. As long as she gained weight, it would all be unconditionally transferred to me. As my soul was consumed by resentment and hatred, a white light enveloped me. Are you willing to bind to the system? I smiled, gritting my teeth. Willing. In this life, I will make every bite. She takes a dagger to her heart. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day I started losing weight. This life, I'm going to make her watch with her own eyes as she eats herself, bite by bite, until she's dead. I died. My soul floated on the ceiling, watching my bloated corpse lying on the bed, my face pale. 5 days of starvation. I ultimately failed to lose a single pound, instead starving myself to death. Look, everyone, this is my special double-layered cheese fried chicken burger. A familiar voice came from next door. My twin sister, Nicole, was live streaming. With a pile of high-calorie foods in front of her, golden crispy fried chicken, chocolate-drizzled muffins, and bubbling cola, her chopsticks picked up a piece of fatty pork belly, her red lips slightly parted, and the moment she bit into it, an expression of enjoyment appeared on her face. The barrage is scrolling wildly. Nicole eats so beautifully. Oh my god, how many calories is that meal? I envy people who can eat anything and not get fat. Actually, my sister is the amazing one. Nicole lowered her voice, her eyes darting towards my room. She gets fat even when she eats nothing. Ha ha ha. My soul trembled with rage. In my last moments, I was still listening to her feigned concern. Molly, stop tormenting yourself. Some people are destined to be fat. Just accept it. Someone in the comments asked, why is your sister so quiet today? Nicole's lips curled into a barely perceptible sneer. Who knows? Maybe she's sleeping. That fat slob does nothing but eat and sleep. She leaned closer to the camera, speaking in a voice only the audience could hear. I'll tell you a secret. I actually just went to her room and checked, and it seems like she's not breathing anymore. Immediately after, she put on a panicked expression. Oh, I'm just kidding, don't take it seriously. My soul felt as if struck by lightning. She knows I'm dead, but she's still live streaming, still eating. After the live broadcast ended, Nicole turned off the camera, and the panic on her face instantly vanished. She leisurely forked a piece of cake into her mouth, picked up her phone, and dialed. Mom, come back quickly. That fat woman seems to have really starved herself to death. Serves her right. Who told her to fantasize about becoming like me? After hanging up the phone, she said to the air system, has all of today's calories been transferred to that dead fatty? A mechanical voice replied, host, please rest assured, all ingested calories have been 100% transferred to the bound target. Molly, even if she dies, her weight data will still be updated. Excellent. Nicole revealed a sweet yet malicious smile. It's perfect for her to die a fat woman, with "Here lies a pig" carved on her tombstone. My soul erupted with unprecedented anger and resentment. I see, so all my failed diets, all my inexplicable weight gain, were because of this obesity transfer system. Just then, a blinding white light enveloped me. Molly, are you willing to bind with the system? An ethereal voice asked. I do, my soul answered without hesitation. I want the weight Nicole gains not to be added to me, but instead, for every amount she eats, I lose that same amount. As you wish. White light exploded, and I abruptly opened my eyes, gasping for air. The familiar pink walls, a weight loss magazine spread open on the desk. I have been reborn. Molly, look what I bought. Nicole pushed the door open, carrying a full plate of fried chicken in her hands. Your favorite fried chicken, fresh out of the fryer, super crispy. I stared intently at her face, identical to mine, in my previous life. At this very moment, I couldn't resist the temptation and ate that piece of fried chicken, thus beginning a vicious cycle. I'm on a diet. I'm not eating. Nicole paused, then scoffed. Oh please, when have you ever succeeded at dieting? What's with the act? She deliberately took a big bite of fried chicken in front of me, grease dripping from the corner of her mouth. So good. Are you sure you don't want any? I clenched my fists under the covers. No, get out. Nicole rolled her eyes. Suit yourself. Don't blame me if you starve to death. She swayed her slender waist as she left, deliberately fanning the aroma of the fried chicken towards me. After the door closed, I immediately jumped out of bed and found the scale. The numbers stopped flashing: 80 kilograms, 160 kilograms. This was exactly my weight after gaining 12 kilograms in a month, and the beginning of my nightmare in my previous life. I pulled out my notebook, neatly wrote down the date and my weight, and then started to make a plan: cucumbers, tomatoes, chicken breast, plenty of water, daily exercise. In my previous life, these methods never worked. But now it's different. At 5 in the morning, I opened my eyes before the alarm clock rang. It was the second day of my rebirth, and I needed to confirm that the voice wasn't a hallucination. I tiptoed towards the weighing scale, afraid of disturbing anything. Barefoot on the cold scale, the numbers flickered to 79, 6 kilograms, 0, 8 kilograms lighter than yesterday. I covered my mouth, tears splashing onto the scale. It's true, that system really exists. At this time in my previous life, no matter how much I dieted and exercised, my weight never budged, and would even inexplicably increase the next day. What's all the noise so early in the morning? Nicole pushed open the door, her eyes still heavy with sleep. She was wearing a silk slip nightgown, revealing her slender collarbones and legs. Seeing me on the scale, she scoffed. Measuring your weight again? Don't bother, the number won't change. She walked over, deliberately bumped me aside, and stepped onto the scale herself. The number stopped at 49, 0 kilograms, 0, 8 kilograms lighter than yesterday. Wow, I've lost weight again. She spun around in delight. Looks like my metabolism is just fast. She completely failed to notice that this number was exactly the same as the weight I had lost. I silently noted down the data. In my previous life, at this time, she would always glance at the scale whenever she weighed herself, and seeing that my weight was heavier than the day before, she would smugly say, "All the fat is going to you." Mom's voice came from the kitchen. "Nicole, I made your favorite bacon and egg quiche." Coming, Nicole skipped away, turning back to raise an eyebrow at me. "You're on a diet, so none for you." I opened the fridge and took out the ingredients I'd prepared last night: cucumber, chicken breast, and 2 hard-boiled eggs. Grandma walked past the kitchen, saw my plate, and sneered, putting on an act. I lowered my head and ate. In my past life, these words would have made me break down and binge eat, but now every insult is my motivation to persevere. In the morning, Nicole was scheduled to record a mukbang. She wore a tight t-shirt and hot pants. Setting up the camera in the dining room, the table was laden with food: fried chicken, pizza, cream cake, and milk tea. 3, 2, 1, go. She pressed the record button and instantly put on a sweet smile. "Hi everyone. Today is our weekly eating challenge." I put on my sportswear, ready to go for a run. Nicole immediately turned the camera to me. "Look, my sister is doing useless work again." She leaned into the microphone and said in a feigned whisper that everyone in the room could hear, "She runs 5 kilometers every day, and she just keeps getting fatter. It's hilarious." The bullet comments immediately filled with ridicule. "Ha ha ha, genetic difference. Some people get fat just by drinking cold water. Nicole never gains weight no matter how much she eats. I'm so envious." I tied my shoelaces and calmly looked at the camera. "Sis, you have cream on the corner of your mouth." Nicole's expression changed, and she quickly wiped her mouth. I closed the door and left, still able to hear her awkwardly trying to smooth things over. My sister just loves to joke around. I was jogging in the neighborhood, my heart pounding violently from a long lack of exercise. In my previous life, at this point, I would have been out of breath and given up after less than 500 meters, but today, I completed the entire run. When I got home, Nicole's live stream was still on. She had already finished a 3-person meal and was rubbing her stomach for the camera. "I'm so full, I'm definitely going to gain 3 pounds tomorrow." I knew she would lose 3 pounds tomorrow, and as long as I stuck to my plan, I would continue to lose weight. Before showering, I secretly registered a social media account called Transformation Log and took photos of today's healthy meal and exercise data. No face shown, just a short text: Day 1, lost 0, 8 kilograms, goal, health. As soon as it was posted, an IDM liked and commented, "Go for it, scientific weight loss will definitely succeed." This was the first act of kindness I received after my rebirth. Late at night, Nicole burst into my room. She had just showered, her wet hair draped over her shoulders, and she held a weighing scale in her hand. "Strange, I ate so much today, yet I still lost weight." She placed the scale on the floor, stepped on it. 48, 5 kilograms. another 0, 5 kilograms lighter. She tilted her head, thought for a moment, and smiled. It must be my super strong digestive system. Tomorrow I'm going to eat double. She skipped away, completely oblivious to the notebook on my desk recording data. I turned to a new page and drew the second descending curve. The taste of revenge was sweeter than I imagined. Monday morning, Nicole spun 3 times in front of the dressing mirror. She put on her brand new school uniform skirt, having taken in the waist by another inch. Molly, can you see my knees? She asked me. What? She triumphantly lifted her skirt. The internet says that for someone with a standard figure, the length from the top of the thigh to the knee should be covered by an A4 sheet of paper when standing. She held a piece of paper vertically against the outside of her thigh. See, it's completely covered. What about you? Want to try? I silently packed my school bag. Boring, Nicole pouted, taking a few selfies in the mirror. After school today, I'm going to hotpot with Kevin and them. You go home by yourself. Kevin, captain of the school basketball team, one of Nicole's loyal admirers. In my previous life, he helped her slip weight loss advertisements into my desk. Whatever you want. I slung my backpack on and left first. Half the students were already in the classroom. The moment I walked through the door, a few girls let out deliberately suppressed giggles. On my seat, "For fat pigs only," was written in permanent marker. Nicole came in after me, and immediately some girls surrounded her. Nicole, eating 10 servings of barbecue on your live stream this weekend was amazing. How do you maintain your figure? Born with it, I guess. Nicole tossed her hair, her gaze drifting towards me. My sister, though, she's hopeless. She gains weight just by drinking cold water. Everyone's eyes felt like needles pricking my back. I silently wiped away the writing on the table and took out my textbook. The 4th period was P.E. The teacher announced an 800-meter run today. Amidst the class's groans, Nicole raised her hand. Teacher, I'm on my period. She never broke a sweat in PE class. I stood at the starting line, surrounded by classmates whispering, "Look at that fatty, she definitely won't finish. Bet she'll collapse after half a lap." The whistle blew. I adjusted my breathing, maintaining a steady pace. The first 400 meters, my lungs burned. At 600 meters, my legs felt like they were filled with lead, but I didn't stop. In the last 50 meters, my vision blurred, and I tripped and fell to the ground. My knee was scraped, and beads of blood seeped out. Amidst the laughter, the PE teacher, Sam, ran over. He was in his early 30s. One of the few male teachers in the school who didn't fawn over Nicole. "Can you stand up?" he asked, crouching down beside me. I nodded. He helped me up and handed me a bottle of water. "Go to the infirmary and get your wound treated." Then he lowered his voice. "I've seen your transformation records. Keep it up." I looked up in shock. "Is he M?" The school nurse wasn't in, so Sam disinfected my wound himself. The cotton swab dipped in iodine stung as it wiped over the cut, making me flinch. "Your sister didn't come to class again today?" he asked. "She's on her period." Sam snorted. "It's such a coincidence every month." He bandaged the wound. "Next time, warm up properly before running." On the way back to the classroom, I heard Nicole's voice from the girls' restroom. "Yeah, that fatso fell really badly." Then came the laughter. I leaned against the wall, waiting for them to come out. Nicole saw me. Her smile froze for a second. Then she affectionately linked arms with a girl. "Rose, I found a super delicious dessert shop yesterday. When school ended in the afternoon, I noticed that Transformation Records had gained over a dozen new followers." Someone commented under the latest post, "The blogger's records are very authentic, unlike some eating shows that are so fake." I clicked on the commenter's profile. Megan, a girl from the next class, on the school track team, so she was my first supporter. After returning home, Nicole indeed went to eat hot pot. I prepared a healthy meal, took a photo, and uploaded it. Day 3, scraped knee but completed 800 meters, lost 4 kilograms. No sooner had I posted it than I received a comment from Megan. "Saw you fall and still kept running. Respect." As I was replying, Nicole burst in, smelling of hot pot. She snatched my phone directly. "What are you doing, being so secretive?" After seeing the screen, she dramatically widened her eyes. "Oh my God, you're actually documenting your weight loss. That's hilarious." She immediately opened her live stream account and pointed the camera at my phone screen. "Look, everyone, my sister is doing a weight loss check-in. Hahaha." The barrage instantly exploded. "She's really posting this weight. How embarrassing. 160 pounds, that's twice my weight." "Nicole, quickly teach your sister how to stay in shape." I calmly took back my phone, At least I'm trying to change, instead of gaining praise by deceiving others. Nicole's face changed. She quickly turned off the live stream and gritted her teeth. What do you mean, literally? I saved today's exercise data. See you tomorrow, sis. She slammed the door and left. I heard her complaining to Mom in the living room. Mom, Molly is bullying me again. I put on my headphones and clicked on the training advice Megan sent me. The headphones blocked out all noise, including my accelerating heartbeat, not from fear, but from anticipation. Tomorrow, the numbers will continue to drop, and Nicole, no matter how much hot pot she eats, will only get thinner and thinner. A month passed, and my electronic scale showed 72.0 kilograms, a full 8 kilograms lost. I spun around in front of the full-length mirror. My waistline was faintly visible, and my double chin was mostly gone. The changes were subtle, but definitely there. I opened my notebook and plotted a new point on the curve. Next to it, Nicole's weight was recorded in parallel, 45.0 kilograms, 5 kilograms lighter than last month. Nicole, why are you so thin again? At breakfast, Mom looked at her eldest daughter worriedly. Are you studying too hard? Nicole was spreading a third layer of peanut butter on her toast. Not at all, I eat well and sleep soundly. She gave me a provocative look. Better than some people who eat grass every day and are still fat. Grandma pushed the fried egg towards her. Eat more, look how thin you are, you have no chest left. I silently drank my vegetable juice. This past month, I've gotten used to their sarcasm. Every time Nicole mocked me during a live stream, my account, Transformation Log, would gain dozens of followers. Now, 3,000 people are following my weight loss journey. There's a talent show at school today. Remember to come and watch me. Nicole wiped her mouth and stood up. I'll wear that red dress. I know that dress. In my previous life, she wore it to win the title of campus goddess, while I was ridiculed for a semester because I was too scared to go on stage. I'll go, I said. Nicole raised an eyebrow dramatically. Wow, the sun's rising in the west. The fat girl dares to show her face. Let's see you make a fool of yourself, I whispered. Her smile froze on her face. The talent show was at 3 p.m. When I arrived at the auditorium early, I saw Nicole throwing a tantrum backstage. How did this dress get loose? It fit perfectly when I tried it on last week, the tailor teacher awkwardly explained. You've lost weight. Your waist is 2 inches bigger here. I found a corner and sat down. Megan had snuck up beside me at some point. You've lost so much weight. She handed me a bottle of sugar-free green tea. Keep it up. I'm rooting for you. On stage, Nicole's solo dance began. The red dress was indeed looser. As she twirled, a strap slipped, causing a ripple of snickers. In her panic, she stepped on the hem of her skirt and nearly fell. The performance ended abruptly, to sparse applause. The next performance is our class choir. I stood in the back row and saw the students in the front row turn around in surprise to look at me. They didn't recognize me, having lost so much weight, after the performance. Kevin stopped me. Are you Nicole's sister? He looked me up and down. You've lost a lot of weight. Is something wrong? I asked. Could I get your contact information? He scratched his head. I'd like to ask you about your weight loss methods. I almost laughed out loud. In my previous life, at this very moment, he was helping Nicole stuff advertisements for fat measurement devices into my locker. Go ask your goddess, I said, pointing to Nicole, whose face was ashen not far away. Doesn't she eat whatever she wants and never gain weight? On the way home, Nicole didn't say a word. As soon as she entered the house, she rushed into the bathroom. Half an hour later, I heard her scream, impossible. I guess she saw the number on the scale. At dinner, Mom brought out braised pork. Nicole, Mom made this especially for you, to nourish your body. Nicole mechanically stuffed meat into her mouth, her eyes fixed on the broccoli on my plate. I chewed slowly, savoring the fear in her eyes. That night, I updated my account. Day 30, total weight loss 8 kilograms. Someone's starting to get scared. 2 months passed, and my weight dropped to 65 kilograms, 15 kilograms lighter than when I started. The girl in the mirror was a stranger to me. Her collarbones were distinct, her waistline pronounced, and her round face had transformed into an oval. My school uniform was 2 sizes too big, so I had to alter it myself. Nicole's situation was the exact opposite. She was so thin, weighing 41.5 kilograms, that her school uniform skirt had to be altered again and again. Her mukbangs were getting crazier and crazier. Yesterday she live-streamed eating a 5-person portion of barbecue, yet this morning she was even thinner. Transformation Log fans exceeded 5,000, and discordant comments began to appear in Nicole's live stream. the streamer is too thin. It doesn't look good. Eating so much and still being thin isn't normal, is it? That weight loss blogger next door is much more authentic than you. Today during break, Kevin openly stopped me in the hallway. Molly, are you free this weekend? I'd like to invite you to the movies. Cheers erupted around us. I noticed Nicole standing not far away, her face pale. No, I have training, I said, shaking the jump rope in my hand. Then I'll train with you, Kevin persisted. You've changed so much. It's just, wow. Nicole rushed over and linked her arm through Kevin's. Kevin, didn't we agree you'd help me shoot my new video this weekend? Kevin pulled his arm away. We'll see, you're too thin lately. You don't look good on camera. Nicole's expression was as if she'd been slapped. She turned to me, her eyes flashing with an emotion I couldn't decipher. Are you satisfied? What? I blinked innocently. What dark magic did you use? She whispered. Why am I getting thinner the more I eat? Why are you? She couldn't continue. I leaned close to her ear. Perhaps you've done too many bad things, and now you're getting your comeuppance. She shoved me away abruptly and ran to the restroom. Megan walked over. She deserves it. During afternoon PE class, Sam announced the fitness test results. The most improved is Molly, whose lung capacity increased from 2,000 milliliters to 3,200 milliliters, and body fat percentage decreased by 8%. My classmates looked at me in surprise. Nicole raised her hand. Teacher, she must have taken drugs. It's impossible for a normal person to lose weight so quickly. Sam frowned. Nicole, don't make baseless accusations without evidence. Molly's training plan and diet records are very scientific. He handed me a form. The school's Healthy Living Week needs student representatives. And I recommended you. Nicole's nails dug into her palms. After school, I found my locker pried open and my sportswear cut into pieces. Die, fat pig, was written on it in lipstick. I took a photo and posted it directly to my social media account. Some people are panicking. 10 minutes later, Megan commented, there's surveillance in the changing room. Should I report it? I replied, no rush, back home. Nicole was live streaming, folks. Today I'm going to teach you how to identify weight loss scams. She held up a photo, a picture of me 3 months ago when I was fat. This is my sister. She claims to have lost 30 pounds through exercise, but in reality, she took illegal drugs. I calmly walked into the camera's view, putting down my backpack. Sis, are you spreading rumors again? The barrage instantly exploded. Is this the same person? What a huge change. Didn't Nicole say her sister was still a fatso? Nicole frantically shut off the live stream, screaming hysterically, get out. That night, my account followers surpassed 6,000. I posted a jump rope video with the caption, Day 60, body fat percentage down to 22%, rumors end with the wise. Before bed, I heard sounds of vomiting coming from Nicole's room. Nicole's live stream has been black for a week. I scrolled through her social media. Her latest post a photo of a hospital scale, 39, 2 kilograms. With the caption, physical examination all normal, the comments section was full of concern. Nicole is too thin. It's heartbreaking. Does she have anorexia? That sister who's losing weight is the suspicious one, right? My account, Transformation Journey, has surpassed 10,000 followers. Under my latest body composition data, the top comment is from Megan. Body fat percentage dropped from 32% to 20% in 3 months, and muscle mass increased by 4 kilograms. This is scientific weight loss. My phone vibrated. Kevin sent a friend request. I declined. 3 seconds later, he sent another. I have dirt on Nicole. You'll need it. After a moment of hesitation, I accepted. He immediately sent an audio recording. I plugged in my headphones. Why does that fatso get to lose weight? Nicole's voice was sharp and grating. You all have to keep insulting her, especially you, Kevin. Didn't you say you only liked me? But you're too thin, Kevin mumbled in defense. Useless. Tomorrow. Go tell her you like her, then get her weight loss method out of her. Otherwise, I'll make you famous throughout the school. The recording ended. Kevin sent a text. She's forcing me to get close to you. There's more. I'll show you when we meet. I replied, no need. Keep it for your own protection. Putting down my phone, I walked to the full-length mirror. The girl in the mirror had a slender waist and long legs, completely different from 3 months ago. I lifted my top, and faint muscle lines were visible on my abdomen. A quarrel erupted in the living room. I gently opened the door and heard Mom crying. The doctor said you have an electrolyte imbalance. If this continues, your organs will fail. It's all Molly's fault. That bitch, Nicole shrieked hysterically. She must have used some evil magic. Nonsense. Mom's voice was stern. I've seen her diet and exercise records for 3 months. They're much more authentic than your fake eating shows. I held my breath. This was the first time Mom had stood up to Nicole for me. Mom, has she brainwashed you too? Nicole shrieked. I'm your favorite daughter, precisely why I can't watch you ruin yourself. Mom's voice choked. You're going into the hospital for treatment tomorrow. I'm not going. Nicole's footsteps approached, and I quickly retreated to my room. She rushed in, grabbing my wrist. Are you happy now? Mom doesn't want me anymore. She was frighteningly thin, her eyes sunken. Her wrists so slender they looked like they could snap. I pulled my hand away from her. It's your own eating that caused this problem. No, her eyes were bloodshot. I checked. All the tests are normal, but I just keep losing weight. You stole my weight. My heart pounded. She was getting close to the truth. System, I whispered. Nicole looked as if she'd been struck by lightning. How did you know? Know what? I tilted my head, feigning ignorance. She took 2 steps back and smiled. It doesn't matter, you'll regret it soon enough. After speaking, she slammed the door and left. That night, my fitness tracker and scale were both gone. At 3 a.m., I was jolted awake by a piercing noise. Nicole was blasting heavy metal music at maximum volume in the next room. Neither Mom nor Grandma intervened. I put in earplugs and noted the time, day 97, 3:15 a.m., sleep intentionally disturbed. The next morning, the healthy meal I had prepared in the kitchen was gone. And all that was left in the fridge was a box of cream cakes with a note stuck on it saying, "Eat up, piggy." I took a photo and uploaded it to my social media account. Someone scared. Then I went to school on an empty stomach. During the break, Megan handed me a lunchbox, chicken breast salad. I made an extra portion. Thank you. My nose stung. In my previous life, by this time, I would have already collapsed into binge eating due to prolonged starvation. Coming home from school, I found the door to my room pried open and all the clothes in my closet shredded. "Go to hell" was written on my dressing table in lipstick. I opened my phone's live streaming function and calmly filmed the messy room. Hello everyone. Today I'm not sharing weight loss tips, but showing you my sister's masterpiece. The barrage instantly exploded. Oh my god, isn't this domestic violence? And they were pretending to be so close before. Streamer, call the police. 10 minutes later. The live stream was interrupted. Nicole reported me, but the video had already been saved by thousands of people. At dinner, Grandma pointed her chopsticks at me. Family shame should not be aired in public. How dare you live stream? My room being destroyed isn't a family matter, it's a crime. I put down my chopsticks. I've kept all the evidence. Mom's face turned pale. Nicole, did you really do it? Nicole burst into tears. She took everything from me. Mom, classmates, fans, now even Kevin. Kevin, Mom looked at me, confused. I've rejected him 3 times. I sneered. My sister forced him to approach me, just to get out the so-called weight loss secret. Nicole suddenly looked up. You're eavesdropping on me. Do I need to? I took out my phone and played the recording Kevin provided. After the recording finished, the restaurant was dead silent. Mom's hands were trembling, but Grandma slammed the table. Fake. Nicole would never talk like that. Grandma, I asked softly, can you really not recognize your own granddaughter's voice? Mom got up and left the table. Nicole glared at me fiercely. You win, for now. That night, I slept behind a locked door, a fruit knife hidden under my pillow. It wasn't that I was afraid she would hurt me. I was afraid she would hurt herself and then frame me. Day 100, morning weight 63, 5 kilograms. I took comparison photos in front of the full-length mirror. The left picture was me at 160 pounds 3 months ago, and the right picture was me now at 127 pounds, the same school uniform, completely different silhouettes. As soon as I posted it to Transformation Log, I received a comment from Megan. OMG, what a change, can I interview you? The school newspaper wants to do a health feature, I replied. Agreeing, and at the same time, messaged her privately, be careful of my sister. My phone vibrated, and an unknown number sent an MMS, a photo of Nicole's hospital wristband, with the caption, you made me do it. I saved the picture, but didn't reply. Only Grandma was at the breakfast table. Your sister is in the hospital. Your mom is with her, she said coldly, satisfied. What happened to her? Malnourished. 38, 5 kilograms. Grandma slammed her chopsticks down. The doctor said she'll die if she loses any more weight. I slowly chewed the whole wheat bread. Then she should eat more. Slap. A slap landed on my face. Grandma's hand was trembling. Ungrateful wretch. You've been jealous of Nicole since you were little. I licked the blood from the corner of my mouth. Grandma, do you remember my 10th birthday? She was taken aback. My sister said she'd help me get the cake, and she accidentally fell. I looked directly into her cloudy eyes. You said then that it was a good thing Nicole wasn't the one who fell. Grandma took half a step back. Why are you writing all this down? It's nothing. I wiped my mouth and stood up. I'm going to school. In the hallway, my classmates' gazes at me had changed. Kevin kept his distance, and a few girls pointed and whispered, until Megan ran up and grabbed me. Your sister is in the infirmary. In the infirmary. Nicole lay on the bed receiving an IV drip. While her mother wiped away tears beside her, the school doctor saw me and frowned. What are you doing here? I asked her to come, Nicole said weakly. I want to talk to my sister alone. As soon as everyone left, her expression changed instantly. How did you do it? She pulled open the collar of her hospital gown, her collarbones protruding as if they would pierce her skin. I've tried everything, binge eating, purging, medication, even blood transfusions to gain weight. I stood at a safe distance. Admit it, what system are you bound to? Her pupils constricted. You really know what? I continued to play dumb. That voice, she murmured, that voice that said it could keep me in perfect shape forever. My heart raced. She finally said it. It asked me if I was willing to bind to the fat transfer system. Nicole's eyes were unfocused. It said that if I agreed, all the calories I ate would be transferred to your twin sister. I calmly finished her sentence. She suddenly looked up, her eyes filled with fear. How could you? The door opened then, and Mom walked in. Nicole, the ambulance is here to take you to the hospital for a full checkup. Nicole grabbed her mother's hand. Mom, Molly, she put a curse on me. Mom shook her head wearily. Don't say another word, really. She stole my weight. Enough. Mom raised her voice. The doctor said you're severely malnourished and found esophageal damage from self-induced vomiting. You're tormenting yourself. Nicole was still screaming as she was loaded into the ambulance. She's going to kill me. Mom, save me. After school, I went to the hospital to visit. Nicole was asleep, and Mom was sobbing uncontrollably on the hallway bench. The doctor said she's only 37 kilograms. Mom clutched my hand. What's wrong with her? I was silent for a moment. Perhaps it's karma. Mom trembled. What do you know? I know everything my sister did to me since we were little, I said softly. I know how she enjoyed me being ridiculed. I know how she made all of you hate me. Mom's hands slowly loosened. I didn't mean to. You are both my daughters, but now she needs you. I took a step back, and I've learned to not need anyone. Back home, I updated my social media account. Day 100, lost 5 kilograms. Some people are starting to face the consequences of their own actions. The accompanying picture shows a seedling breaking through the soil, with an overturned glass in the background. Late at night, the phone rang, waking me up. It was the hospital. Nicole was missing. At 3:17 a.m., the hospital's call woke up the entire family, Nicole's family. The patient escaped from the hospital. The sound of Mom frantically getting dressed came through the wall. I lay in bed, unmoving, listening to the chaos outside. 15 minutes later, the front door slammed shut, and the entire house fell into an eerie silence. I counted to 300, then got up and pulled back the curtains. A strange black car was parked downstairs, and a faint red light flickered behind its window. Someone was watching my house. The phone screen lit up with a message from Megan. Your sister just updated her status. I clicked on Nicole's long-abandoned mukbang account. The latest post was a 10-second video. She was standing on a rooftop somewhere, dressed in a hospital gown, with the city nightscape as a backdrop. The caption read, "My sister harmed me, I won't let her off even as a ghost," posted at 3:21 a.m. I immediately called Mom. Mom, look at Nicole's account, she's on the rooftop. A screech of brakes came from the other end of the line. Which rooftop? I don't know, but you can see the Oriental Pearl Tower in the background. So it should be in the east of the city. The call disconnected. I put on my coat, ready to leave, but bumped into Grandma in the entryway. She was dressed in a strange black robe, carrying a bamboo basket filled with yellow paper, incense, candles, and a small knife. Grandma, her cloudy eyes stared at me. It's all your fault, she hissed. I'll exorcise you tonight. I took 2 steps back. Nicole is on the rooftop, about to jump. Mom already. Shut up. Grandma grabbed a handful of rice from her basket and scattered it at me. Evil spirits, begone. The grains of rice stung my face. I turned and rushed back into my room, locking the door. I climbed out the window onto the fire escape. When I landed, the black car was still there, but the person inside was gone. I hailed a taxi at the convenience store entrance. Driver. The tallest building in the east of the city with a view of the Pearl Tower. Quickly, 10 minutes into the ride, the driver pointed ahead. Is that on fire over there? Thick smoke billowed from the top of an old apartment building in the distance. My heart stopped. That was JX Apartments, where we lived when we were in elementary school. Go there, quick. I jumped out before the car had even fully stopped. An ambulance and police cars were parked downstairs at the apartment building, and a crowd looked up to watch. I pushed my way to the front and looked up to see a figure in the fire on the top floor. Sis, I instinctively cried out. She seemed to hear me, and her figure swayed. Firefighters were laying out an air cushion, and police officers were holding back my mom, who was trying to rush into the building. I quietly slipped into the stairwell and started climbing the stairs. 9 floors. My lungs felt like they were on fire. The iron door on the top floor was wide open, and a wave of heat hit me. Nicole had set fire to old furniture. The flames weren't large, but the smoke was thick. She stood at the edge of the rooftop, her back to me. Sis, she spun around, her face, hollowed out like a skull in the firelight, snarled, "What are you doing here? To watch me die? Mom's downstairs. She's about to break." I slowly approached. "Come down. Do you know what I found?" She shook an old photo album in her hand. "Photos of us when we were 5. You were only a little bit fatter than me back then." Flames licked at the old sofa nearby, the heat searing. I narrowed my eyes. So the problem has always been you," she shrieked. "Ever since we were little, you've used that pathetic face to steal what was mine. Now you're even trying to steal my weight." I was only 3 steps away from her. "No one can steal someone else's weight." "You can," she shrieked, waving the photo album. "What dark magic did you use? Did that old woman teach you?" It took me a second to realize she meant Grandma. Grandma, not her. Nicole's eyes were wild. It was the voice that gave me the system. It lied to me. My heart pounded. "What system?" She suddenly froze, as if realizing she had let something slip. "Are you trying to trick me into talking?" She took half a step back, her heels suspended in the air. "Careful." I lunged forward and grabbed her wrist. She was terrifyingly light. I could almost lift her with one hand. Firefighters rushed onto the rooftop, and jets of water from the hoses sprayed towards us. In the midst of the chaos, Nicole stared into my eyes and whispered, "I hate you." She broke free from my grasp, and thankfully, the firefighters caught her. The next day, Nicole was forcibly transferred to the psychiatric ward. The shaman my grandmother hired sprinkled chicken blood and pasted talismans in my room, claiming to expel the kin-harming evil from me. "Master, is it this girl who caused her sister to fall ill?" Grandma pressed. The shaman woman squinted her triangular eyes, sizing me up. "The sisters' fates clash. One must stay far away." I interrupted her. "How much money will it take for you to tell the truth?" The shaman woman's expression changed. I pulled out my phone. "I just checked. Unlicensed exorcism is considered fraud. Should I call the police?" She grumbled and left. Grandma tried to stop her, but I blocked her. "Grandma, have you ever considered that maybe my sister did something bad and is now facing retribution?" Grandma's slap came out of nowhere. "Wicked woman, cursing your own sister." I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth and smiled. "Do you remember when I fell into the pond when I was 6? My sister said I slipped." "You did, but I felt someone push me then," I said softly. Now that I think about it, my sister's hand was small, but very strong. Grandma's expression wavered for the first time. That afternoon, a local media reporter contacted me, wanting to interview me about the healthy weight loss girl story. I agreed, on the condition that my family situation wouldn't be mentioned. When Mom returned from the hospital, she went straight into Nicole's room. As I passed by, I heard her rummaging through something. It might have been the old photo album I'd rescued from the rooftop. At dinner, Mom asked me, "Molly, when you were 6, why did you suddenly become afraid of water?" I put down my chopsticks. "Because someone pushed me into the pond, but said I slipped." Mom's hands started to tremble. Why didn't you say anything then?" "I did." I looked straight into her eyes. "You said Nicole was so well behaved. How could she lie?" Mom's tears splattered onto the tablecloth. It was the first time she had cried for me, but unfortunately, it was 10 years too late. After Nicole was hospitalized for 2 weeks, the school suggested she take a leave of absence to recuperate. The doctor said she's under 35 kilograms now. Mom rubbed her temples wearily. "Her organs are starting to fail, but they can't find a reason." I quietly ate my healthy meal. My weight had dropped to 60 kilograms, with a body fat percentage of 18%. close to an athlete's level. Megan said the school track team wanted to recruit me, Molly. Mom hesitated. Could you go see her? The doctor said. She keeps calling your name. I put down my fork. Okay, the city's mental health center was like a prison. After passing through 3 iron gates, I saw Nicole in the activity room. She was curled up in a wheelchair, like a skeleton covered in human skin, with soft pads tied to her wrists to prevent self-harm. Sis, she slowly looked up, her eyes terrifyingly large on her gaunt face. You came to mock me. I sat down opposite her. Mom sent me, liar, she shrieked. You stole my system, give it back to me. The caregiver held down her restless shoulders. I leaned forward and said in a voice only she could hear, the system that transfers weight. Her eyes widened, and her chapped lips trembled. You really, I don't know anything. I leaned back in my chair. I only know that doing too many bad things will bring retribution. She started laughing hysterically until the doctor arrived to inject a sedative. As I was leaving, Mom stopped me in the hallway. What system did she mention just now? Just the ramblings of a deranged mind. I shrugged. She said I stole some system of hers. Mom's gaze became complicated. Molly, if you know anything that could help her, I'm not a doctor. I turned and left. The next day, Teacher Sam came to talk to me. Molly, someone reported that you and I have an inappropriate relationship. I looked up in shock. What? The school investigated. It was pure slander. He pushed a document towards me. But I've been transferred out of this school. At the bottom of the document, where the accuser's signature should be, was Nicole's pathologically distorted handwriting. How could she be hospitalized? Her father submitted it on her behalf. Sam gave a bitter smile. I never expected my first parent-teacher meeting to be like this. Then I remembered my dad, who was always away on business. When did he get back? Teacher, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. He tidied his desk. Keep up the good work. You're excellent. As I walked out of the office, I saw Kevin lurking suspiciously around the corner of the hallway. I walked straight over. Did you do this? He shook his head frantically. It wasn't me. It was Nicole. She gave me the materials before she was hospitalized and asked me to hand them over when her dad came back. Why help her? She has something on me. His face was pale. Once in junior high, I stole the class funds, and she saw it. I turned and walked away. Kevin caught up to me. Wait, I have something for you. He handed me a USB drive, all her raw live stream footage. Some content wasn't broadcast. After returning home, I checked the contents of the USB drive on my computer. Most of it was boring footage of Nicole reapplying makeup and scolding staff, until the last folder. System test records. I clicked on the video, and Nicole in the frame spoke to the air. System, confirm all today's calories have been transferred to Molly. After a pause, she jumped up in ecstasy. It really works. Tomorrow I'll eat double on the live stream. The video date was 1 week before I started my diet. I closed my laptop, my hands trembling. This was irrefutable proof that she had knowingly and deliberately used the system to harm me. That evening, Mom and Dad came home together. A rare occurrence. The first thing Dad said when he saw me was, "What did you do to your sister?" "Nothing." "Then why did she become like that?" He threw down a stack of photos. Nicole in the hospital bed, emaciated like a concentration camp victim. The doctor said if she continues like this, she won't live another month. Mom pulled him back. Don't be like that. Nicole was always a bit obsessive, even you're taking her side. Dad pointed at my nose, from childhood to adulthood. How many times more outstanding was Nicole than you? Now what despicable means are you using to harm her? I calmly took out my phone and played the video Kevin provided. Nicole's voice echoed in the living room. System, confirm all calories today have been transferred to Molly. After it played, Dad's face was ashen. What is this? I don't know. I put away my phone. But it proves she did something to me, doesn't it? Dad stormed out. Mom collapsed onto the sofa, covering her face and crying. Late at night, I heard a fierce argument in the master bedroom. Nicole must be sent to a better hospital. She needs a psychologist. That video proves. What can a video prove? Children babble nonsense. What about Molly's weight then? She lost 40 pounds in 3 months, because she's disciplined, unlike you, always spoiling Nicole. The argument ended with a door slamming. The next morning, Dad was gone, leaving a note. I'm taking Nicole to be city for medical treatment. Mom, with red eyes, made breakfast and said, your dad's always been like this. He runs away from problems. I silently ate the egg she fried, the first breakfast she had made just for me in 10 years. Molly, her voice choked. Mommy is sorry. Sunlight streamed through the curtains onto the dining table. I squinted. Mom, the egg is overcooked. She paused, then burst into tears and laughter. Tomorrow, I'll fry it 30 seconds less. That day, I updated my social media account. Day 120, body fat percentage 17.8%. Some people are finally starting to see the truth. The accompanying image was a broken mirror, each shard reflecting different light and shadow. The call from B City came at 3 in the morning. After my mother answered the phone, the entire house plunged into chaos. I stood at the doorway, watching her stumble as she packed her luggage. Mom, what's wrong? Nicole escaped from the hospital. Mom's voice was broken. She stole a nurse's phone and sent a suicide note to your dad. I helped her zip up her suitcase. I'll go with you. The capital airport was bustling with people. Mom clutched her phone the whole way, calling Dad every 5 minutes, but no one ever answered. As the taxi drove towards the hospital, she grabbed my hand. Molly, if Nicole really, I squeezed her cold fingers back. She'll be fine. The white corridors of Union Hospital seemed endless. Dad slumped on a bench, his suit wrinkled like a rag, his tie askew. Seeing us, he shot up. It's all your fault. He pointed at me. If you hadn't provoked her. Enough, Mom shrieked. Where's Nicole? Missing. Surveillance caught her climbing over the wall at 1 a.m. Dad clutched at his hair. The police found her hospital gown by the moat. Mom went limp, and I caught her just in time. The police came to take a statement, asking questions about Nicole's recent behavior. When asked if there were any suicidal tendencies, Dad pointed at my phone. Her last message was sent to you. All eyes turned to me. I unlocked my phone and opened the photo sent at 1:23 a.m. Nicole's emaciated arm was covered in needle marks, with the caption, "You win." Is that all? The police pressed. I scrolled down. There's also a voice message. Pressing play, Nicole's weak and distorted voice rang out. I know what you did. That system, it betrayed me. I'll haunt you even as a ghost. The voice abruptly cut off. The police officer frowned. System? What system? Her delirious ramblings. I put away my phone. She always said I stole some system of hers. Dad suddenly lunged, snatching my phone. Liar, you must know more. He frantically scrolled through my contacts. What about that teacher? Did he help you? Stop. Mom tried to intervene but was pushed away by Dad. The police intervened and returned my phone. Dad was taken away for questioning. And Mom and I stayed at the hospital to wait for news. Around noon, a nurse rushed in, found her at an internet cafe near YH Temple. When we arrived, Nicole was being loaded into an ambulance. She was even thinner than in the video, like a skeleton draped in human skin, with blood-soaked bandages wrapped around her wrists. Seeing me, she struggled. Get out, go away. Her voice was hoarse, like sandpaper rubbing. Medical staff held her down and injected a sedative. Dad left with the ambulance, leaving Mom and me to handle the aftermath. The internet cafe owner was still shaken. She booked an overnight session and just cried in front of the computer. This morning, an employee found she had slit her wrists. The police retrieved her internet search history. I stood by, seeing the search bar filled with, how to unbind a system, calorie transfer, scientific explanation, the twin curse. Finally, there was a question posted on an occult forum. The system betrayed me and reversed the calories. How do I get revenge? In the taxi on the way back to the hospital, Mom said, I want to see that USB drive. My heart skipped a beat. What USB drive? Kevin gave it to you. Her eyes were tired yet clear. Don't pretend. I saw it. Back at the hotel, I inserted the USB drive into my laptop. As the video played, my mother's expression went from confusion to shock, finally settling on a pale look of realization. Is this Nicole's secret? I don't know what this is, I answered cautiously. I only know that she definitely did something to me. Mom broke down crying. I'm such a blind fool, all these years. She cried until she dry heaved. I handed her tissues and water. When she calmed down a bit, I said, Mom, I think I'll head back now. She grabbed my hand. Stay with Mom for one more day. Tomorrow we'll go back together. That evening, Dad called to say Nicole's condition was stable, but she would require long-term hospitalization. When Mom told him we had to go back first, there was a long silence on the other end of the phone. You guys go ahead, he finally said. I'll stay with Nicole a bit longer. After hanging up, Mom gave a bitter smile. He finally has to face an imperfect daughter. 3 days after we got home, Nicole's fans started a doxing campaign. My social media accounts were dug up, and a flood of insults poured in. Murderer, What did you do to your sister? If Nicole dies, it's your fault. I calmly organized all the evidence, from photos of shredded sportswear, to videos of the damaged room, to audio clips of Nicole herself admitting to calorie transfer. Finally, I included the weight change curve over these 4 months and the hospital physical examination report. The title was simple, The Truth. An hour after its release, public opinion began to turn. Megan messaged me, check the trending topics, hashtag Nicole's persona collapses hashtag had already climbed to 8th place. Clicking on it revealed a long analytical article by a prominent influencer, detailing the evidence of her fakery and mukbang videos and her long-term bullying of me. That night, Mom knocked on my door, a black leather notebook in her hand. I found this in Nicole's room. Opening the first page, system usage log, was prominently written, followed by a dense record of dates, calorie intake, and transfer amount. The most recent pages were filled with frantic scribbles. Why is it reversed? Why is she getting thinner but I'm getting thinner faster? Damn, damn, damn. The last page read, if Molly dies, will the system come back? Mom's hand trembled. Unable to hold the notebook, she wants to kill you. I closed the notebook. Do you believe me now? The day Nicole was transferred back to the local hospital was exactly my 5-month weight loss anniversary. My weight dropped to 55 kilograms, body fat percentage 16%, and my abs were clearly visible. My transformation records, followers surpassed 50,000. And a sports brand approached me for an endorsement. Mom became quiet and withdrawn, spending her days organizing things, until one day, she pulled out an old shoebox. Molly, Mom wants to show you something. The box was full of my things: first prize in a kindergarten drawing competition, my 3rd grade elementary school essay, my dream, a certificate for qualifying for a junior high biology competition. All the certificates of honor I remembered losing were here. Was it all Nicole who hid them? Mom nodded, tears falling onto the yellowed certificate. I should have noticed sooner. She's been like this since she was little. The doorbell rang at that moment. The delivery person brought a package from B-City, addressed to Mom. Upon opening it, we both gasped. It was a copy of Nicole's medical records, and a letter from Dad. The shocking diagnosis on the medical record, late-stage anorexia nervosa, accompanied by persecutory delusions, poor prognosis. The letter was even shorter. I can't take it anymore. She screams all day about killing Molly. I've contacted a specialist hospital in Switzerland, leaving next week. Divorce papers enclosed. Mom slumped on the sofa, her eyes vacant. I didn't know what to say, so I just went to make dinner. As I was chopping vegetables, my phone vibrated. A message from the hospital orderly. Your sister is acting up again, insisting on seeing you. I hesitated for a moment, but I went anyway. Nicole's private room was like a cell, all sharp objects removed, windows welded shut. She sat on the bed, wrists bound in restraints, her eyes alarmingly bright when she saw me. You came, I knew you would. Her voice was hoarse. Are you happy to see me like this? I stood at a safe distance. Dad sending you to Switzerland. There's no escaping it. She shook her head nervously. The system is bound to you. Running to the moon won't help. What system? I continued to play dumb. Don't pretend. You know, the system that transfers weight. It betrayed me. Now it's reversed the calories. The more I eat, the faster I lose weight. Medical staff rushed in and held her down. Before they injected the sedative, she stared at me intently. I'll haunt you even as a ghost. Walking out of the hospital, the setting sun stung my eyes. My phone rang. It was Megan. Checked the class group chat. The group chat was in an uproar. Kevin had sent an audio file, captioned, "The Real Nicole." I clicked on it, and her voice was clear. Yes. Put the laxative in Molly's water bottle, don't worry. She's so fat, a few days of diarrhea won't hurt her. The date was last year's sports day. Immediately after, other classmates started posting photos, fat pig, graffiti on my desk, weight loss advertisements in my locker, my sportswear dirted during PE class. The captions read, "So it was all your sister's doing." Back home, Mom was watching a video, which I recognized as one Dad had sent. On screen, Nicole was raging in a hospital room, screaming, "Give me back the system." Then she quieted down and said to the air, "I know how to deactivate it, as long as Molly dies." The video abruptly ended. Mom closed the laptop, her voice terrifyingly calm. "I'm going to see a lawyer tomorrow." The next morning, the doorbell woke us up. 2 police officers stood outside. "Molly, someone reported you for suspected intentional harm to Nicole." Mom stood in front of me. "Who reported this?" "Her father." "This is a search warrant." the police took my computer, phone, and that system log, notebook. Before leaving, the older officer whispered, "Girl, I suggest you get a lawyer." Before the lawyer arrived, Mom took a call, her face instantly turning pale. Nicole ran from the hospital. When we arrived at the hospital, the scene was chaotic. Dad was arguing with the director, and several nurses were gathered around a crying caregiver. She said she needed to use the restroom, so I untied the restraint. The caregiver sobbed. She suddenly pushed me down and ran off. Surveillance footage showed Nicole slipping into the staff corridor and exiting through the back door. The police began searching the surrounding area, and Mom and I went home to wait for news. At 6 in the evening, my phone received a text message from an unknown number. Rooftop, just the two of us. I immediately knew where she was. JX apartment, that rooftop from last time. I didn't tell Mom, and took a taxi there alone. There were no police cars downstairs at the apartment building, so it seemed she hadn't been discovered yet. I climbed 9 flights of stairs and pushed open the iron door to the rooftop. Nicole stood at the edge, her back to me. The evening breeze billowed her hospital gown, empty like it was hanging on a clothes hanger. "Sis," she slowly turned around. In the setting sun, she was emaciated beyond recognition, her eyes terrifyingly large, and she held something in her hand. "You're here," she smiled, revealing yellowed teeth, "to witness your victory." I cautiously took a step forward. "Dad's looking for you, that coward," she scoffed. "He's afraid of me, afraid I'll really kill you." She held up something in her hand. It was my sports water bottle. "Remember this?" Of course, I remembered. That acute gastroenteritis in my second year of junior high, hospitalized for a week. "I put laxatives in your food," she recalled with relish. "You looked so funny, completely drained from diarrhea. Why do you hate me?" This was the question I'd wanted answered for over a decade. "Because you exist. Why is it that we're twins, yet you always manage to be slightly better than me? Art, writing, biology, even wait, until that system appeared." She took a step forward, closer to the edge, but it betrayed me. "Now, there's only one way to unbind it." I realized what she was about to do and rushed forward. No, it was too late. Nicole fell backward, a strange smile on her lips. I desperately grabbed her wrist. Her bones were so thin I was afraid I'd crushed them. "Let go," she whispered. "If I die, the system will be deactivated, and you'll go back to being that fat slob." I looked into her crazed eyes and let go. Of course, the fire cushion was already laid out. But in that moment of choice, I knew I was as twisted as she was. Nicole fell. I leaned over the railing, watching her plummet like a bird with broken wings. Her hospital gown flapped in the wind, and her once beautiful face was contorted into a frozen mask of terror. 9 floors, enough for me to remember many things. The triumphant smile when she poured laxatives into my water. The acrid tone of her voice as she mocked my weight during her live stream. The gleeful look in her eyes when she instructed classmates to write, "Fat pig," on my desk. Bang, a dull thud, screams erupted downstairs. I slowly walked down the stairs, my fingers trembling uncontrollably, but not from fear. The fire cushion didn't have time to inflate. The area below JX apartment building was packed with people. I pushed through the crowd and saw Nicole sprawled on the ground like a rag doll, her left leg twisted at an impossible angle, blood slowly spreading from the back of her head. A nurse was kneeling on the ground performing CPR. "Make way, ambulance coming through." I was pushed aside, watching as paramedics lifted Nicole onto the stretcher. Her arm hung down, and I noticed she was so thin that her veins protruded like a spiderweb. "Is there still a pulse?" "Weak. Hurry." The ambulance sped away. I stood by the roadside, laughing aloud. Passers-by looked at me as if I were crazy, but I didn't care. The phone rang. It was Mom. "Molly, where are you?" "The hospital," said Nicole. "JX apartments," I said calmly. She jumped. On the other end of the line, I heard hysterical crying and Grandma's shrill curses. I hung up and called a taxi. "Where to?" the driver asked. "The first city hospital." I paused. "No, to school first." Class 3, 4, was having a self-study session. When I walked in through the back door, everyone looked up at me. I had grown accustomed to being stared at these past few months, but this time was different. Their eyes held fear. Kevin's seat was empty. Megan quietly passed a note. "Did Nicole really jump? Everyone in the group chat is talking about it." I nodded and walked straight to the podium. The classroom instantly fell silent. "I know what you're thinking." I scanned the familiar faces. "Yes, my sister jumped, and she's in the hospital fighting for her life." I smiled. "Maybe she'll live, maybe she won't." Someone gasped. The girl who used to bully me with Nicole turned pale and lowered her head. These past 5 months, I continued, I've lost 45 pounds, and some of you used to put diet pills in my desk, write on my gym clothes, and splash water on me during PE class. The class monitor stood up. Molly, isn't it inappropriate to talk about this now? Your sister, shut up. I stared at him. Last semester, you were the one who led everyone in calling me fatty. I pulled out my phone. Do you want me to play the recording Kevin provided? It has evidence of you taking money from Nicole to mess with me. The class monitor's face instantly went pale. I just came to tell you, I said, stepping down from the podium, that I'll be transferring schools before the college entrance exam. But before I go, I stopped at the desk of the girl who once poured red ink on my chair. I wish you all a bright future. I placed a USB drive on the podium. This contains all the evidence. If I hear any rumors about me in the future, I gave a meaningful glance at the classroom monitor. As I walked out of the school gate, Kevin caught up to me, panting, Molly, I heard. I turned and slapped him. With a crisp smack, he covered his face, stunned. That slap is for you secretly photographing me in the changing room during our sophomore year of high school, I sneered, looking at his red and swollen face. Don't worry. I've already reported all the candid photos on your computer to the cyber police, including those of other girls. His expression changed from shock to fear. How did you? Nicole told me. I lied cheerfully. She said you're a disgusting voyeur who collects photos of fat girls to sell to fetish websites. She's lying, Kevin shrieked. She's the one who told me to. Do you have proof? I raised an eyebrow. Now she's fighting for her life. And what's on your computer? I shook my phone. That's enough to get you into juvenile detention. He slumped to the ground, like a kicked dog. I turned and left, my steps as light as if I were walking on clouds. In the hospital corridor, Mom and Grandma were talking to the doctor. Seeing me, Grandma rushed over and slapped me. Murderer. I didn't dodge. My cheek stung, burning, and I tasted blood. Good, this real pain. The patient has severe intracranial hemorrhage and multiple organ failure, the doctor said wearily. We did our best, but Mom collapsed to the floor. Grandma's piercing wails drew the security guard. I stood by, like an indifferent bystander. It's all you. You're the one who caused it, Grandma shrieked, pointing at me. You cursed my granddaughter to death. Quiet. The doctor snapped. This is a hospital. I squatted down and leaned into Grandma's ear. Grandma, do you know why Nicole jumped? I whispered. Because she found out that the system that made me fat had backfired. The more she ate, the thinner she got. Grandma's cloudy eyes widened. How do you know? I know more than you think. I stood up. For example, when I was 6, you taught Nicole to put hormone medication in my milk, didn't you? Mom's head snapped up. What? Nonsense. Grandma shrieked. But her trembling hands betrayed her. The moment the doctor declared Nicole dead, Grandma fainted. In the chaos of the emergency room, Mom grabbed my arm. Molly, just now you said hormone medication. A guess, I said, shaking off her hand. But now I'm certain. On the way home, Mom kept crying. I sat in the taxi, scrolling on my phone. The campus network had exploded. Photos of Kevin being taken away by the police were circulating in every group. The class monitor had voluntarily resigned. And several people who used to bully me were posting apologies. Megan messaged me, "You're so cool, now the whole school is talking about your sister's messed up stuff, and those sycophants are all like stray dogs." I replied with a smiley face and opened the Transformation Log account. My followers had already surpassed 100,000. I posted my last update, day 150, the finish line, thanks to all the malice. It was my best diet pill. The accompanying picture was a black and white photo, a bird soaring across an empty blue sky, at the edge of the JX apartment rooftop. Back home, Grandma had already been taken to the hospital. She had suffered a stroke. Mom numbly tidied Nicole's room, pulling a cardboard box from under the bed. Molly, her voice trembled. The box was full of my things, torn certificates, cut up school uniforms, broken stationery. At the very bottom was a medicine bottle labeled children's growth hormone. Mom knelt on the floor, crying like a child. I stood at the doorway, feeling a strange calm. The next day, the local newspaper published the news. Famous mukbang streamer Nicole dies of anorexia, had long-term bullying of younger sister. The accompanying images were screenshots of Nicole's mukbangs at her peak, contrasted with photos of her emaciated state before her death. Dad called from Switzerland, his voice hoarse. "Are you satisfied? Your sister is dead. Grandma had a stroke. Mom had a mental breakdown." "Dad," I interrupted him, Do you remember the puppy you gave me for my 10th birthday? There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line. It was hit by a car and died the next day. Remember, I said softly. Last night I dreamt Nicole told me before she died that she was the one who let the puppy out of its cage. You're crazy. Dad's voice was trembling. Maybe. I hung up the phone and started packing. Mom stood at the doorway, her eyes red and swollen. You're leaving? Yes, to Shanghai. A sports brand wants me to endorse them. I tucked the last book into my suitcase. I've paid 6 months' rent. That should be enough for you to recover. Molly, she choked. Mommy is sorry. It doesn't matter anymore. I pulled my suitcase. Oh, by the way, Kevin was fired. He had videos on his computer of him secretly filming Nicole changing. I smiled. Do you think he'll tell the police that Nicole asked him to film her? Mom's face turned ashen. I took one last look around the room filled with nightmares, then picked up my suitcase. Goodbye, Mom. As I walked out of the complex, several girls from my school who used to mock me were gathered at the entrance. Seeing me, they scattered as if they'd seen a ghost. I deliberately walked towards the one who used to curse me the most fiercely, Lu Yuding. I heard your recommendation to Beijing Foreign Studies University fell through. Her face went pale. How did you know? A guess? I smiled. After all, the recommendation letter was written by Teacher Shi, and he just happens to know about your cheating in the English competition during your second year of high school. I leaned close to her ear. By the way, your boyfriend Leo asked me out for dinner yesterday. His hands were quite restless, watching her distorted face. I laughed loudly and left. The train station was bustling with people. I bought an iced Americano, took a picture, and posted it to my newly registered account. Next stop, life. As I put down my phone, I seemed to hear a voice softly say in my ear, mission accomplished, system deactivated. But when I looked back, there were only strangers hurrying past. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.